Imagine being taken from everything you know, your home, your family, your ordinary life, and waking up in a place where your life no longer belongs to you. This was the world of the Roman gladiator, and if you were there, this could have been your story. Your story begins. Far from the arena, you are young, you are strong, you have a family, you have a life. But Rome is expanding. Armies march across distant lands, villages are conquered, men are taken prisoner, and people who lived ordinary lives only yesterday become prisoners then. One day, your world disappears. You are taken from your home, your hands are bound, armed men surround. You don't know where they are taking. Days pass. You travel along Roman roads with other prisoners. Some remain silent, some are wounded, and some will never see their homes again. Finally, after weeks on the road, you see Rome. Massive stone buildings rise above the city. Temples, markets, crowded streets, and somewhere inside this enormous city, your new life is waiting. You are taken through the gates of a gladiatorial training school. The gates close behind you, and then you understand. You are no longer simply a prisoner. You are a gladiator. Your first night is spent inside a small stone cell. There is a straw mat, a clay lamp, a wooden door. Nothing else. You hear footsteps, outside chains, movement in the corridor, and somewhere in the distance, the sound of training morning comes. The door opens, bright sunlight enters the cell. You step outside and see the training yard. Dozens of gladiators are already fighting. Wooden swords crash against shields. Dust rises from the sand. Men fall and get back up. Some have scars covering their bodies. Others are young, like you, but every one of them understands the same thing. Training here is not a game. The trainer gives you a wooden sword. It feels heavier than you expected. You raise it. Your first strike is weak. You lose your balance. The trainer corrects your feet, your hands, your stance. Again, you strike. Again, and again your arms begin to burn. Blisters appear on your hands. Every night, your body aches. But every morning you return to the training yard, because here, weakness has a price. One day, you face another gladiator. You attack. He blocks. You attack again. He moves faster, and suddenly, you are on the ground. Your sword lies several steps away. The others watch. The trainer says, "Nothing, you could stay down," but you don't. You reach for the sword. You stand, and for the first time, something inside you changes. You are still afraid, but now, you are learning how to survive. Days become weeks. Weeks become months. Your body changes. Your shoulders become stronger. Your movements become faster. You learn how to hold a shield, how to move through sand. How to attack, how to defend, and most importantly, how to stay alive. You begin to understand the men around you. Some dream of freedom, some dream of money, and some dream only of surviving another day. You learn from the veterans. You study their movements. You remember their mistakes. You stop fighting with anger. You begin fighting with control. Then, the day of your first training victory arrives. Your opponent falls to one knee. You stand over him, but you don't celebrate, because now you understand. Every victory teaches you how to survive. But every victory also brings you closer to the arena. And one day, you receive your first real wound. It is only a small cut. But when you see the blood on your arm, you understand what all this training has been preparing you for. This is no longer practice. Soon, you will fight for real. That night, you return to your cell. You sit alone. The wooden sword rests outside the door. You look at your hands. These same hands once belonged to an ordinary man, and now they belong to a fighter. You close your fists and wait for morning the next day. You hear the crowd, thousands of voices. Their roar travels through the stone corridors. You walk toward the arena. Your footsteps echo beneath the Colosseum. The light ahead grows brighter, and then the gates open, and you see it. Thousands of people are watching you. The arena stretches. Before you, the sand shines beneath the sun. The crowd seems endless. For a moment, you forget how to breathe. Then you see your opponent, a veteran. He is bigger than you, stronger than you. He has already survived many battles, and now, he stands between you and tomorrow. You raise your shield. He raises his sword. The crowd falls silent. Then he attacks. His sword crashes against your shield. The impact drives you backward. You almost fall, but you recover. You attack. He blocks. You attack again. Dust explodes beneath your feet. The crowd screams. Your heart beats faster. You are no longer thinking about Rome, your family, your past. There is only the man in front of you and the next. Second, he attacks again. You block. You step forward. Your shield slams into him. He loses his balance, and for one moment, you have the advantage. You raise your sword and stop. You understand. One movement will decide everything. You strike, your opponent falls. The arena erupts. Thousands of people rise from their seats. But you don't celebrate. You simply stand there, breathing heavily, covered in dust, covered in sweat, listening to the roar of Rome, and for the first time, the crowd remembers your face. Then, the gates close behind you. The noise disappears. You walk back through the dark corridors beneath the arena, the same, silenced at the same stone walls. But you are no longer the man who entered them. Your arm is wounded. Your body is exhausted. A medical attendant cleans the wound and wraps it with linen. Then you return to your cell. The same cell, the same walls, the same small lamp. But now, you understand them differently. That night, you cannot sleep. You can still hear the crowd. You close your eyes. But sleep does not come, because now, you know something the spectators will never understand. For them, it was entertainment. For you, it was a fight for your life. The next day, the owner of the gladiatorial school calls you. On the table lies a small wooden sword. The rudies, a symbol of freedom, beside it. Coins, you look at them. Freedom is suddenly within reach. You could leave. You could walk away from the arena, but you don't take the rudies. Not yet, because part of you has changed. You return to the training yard. You pick up your sword and begin again. The sun rises over Rome. The city wakes. Markets open. People fill the streets. Thousands continue their ordinary lives. And, somewhere beneath the great arena, a gladiator continues to train. Once you were a prisoner, then you became a fighter, then a survivor, and now, you have become something else. You have learned to live with fear. You have learned that courage does not mean being without fear. Courage means standing up when every part of you wants to stay down. You look toward the Colosseum. The same arena that once terrified you is now behind you, but your story is not over. Because in ancient Rome, surviving one battle never meant you were free. It meant only one thing. You had lived long enough to face the next dot. And if you were there, would you have survived?